Hello there, today I'm going to be reviewing this Transformers animated Bumblebee from Transformers Legacy United, I believe. I do not have his box. Probably is. Yeah, it's United. I don't have his box, like I said. So, yeah, I do have his weapons though. Here they are. They're kind of ugly, not gonna lie. But, yeah. This is, I guess, United Bumblebee. And he is a deluxe. He is kind of tiny, but honestly, he has charm, and he's still a really good figure for the size. For the price, I don't know. At most, maybe like $15 for this. I mean, just to compare him with the core class, he's not too big for a deluxe, but honestly, for the price point, when it's smaller, it allows more budget for the transformation and articulation and stuff like that. So that's why this bigger deluxe here has no wrist articulation at all. However, this Bumblebee has wrist articulation because it has less plastic and it has more budget to have moving parts. So yeah, that's also why smaller figures may also be a lot more articulated, at least in their price range. So really, the prices you're paying aren't for the size of the figure alone, it's more so about the effort and work and budget put into making this figure as good as possible within the budget. So yeah, in that case, this is still a very awesome figure. Once again, at most $15 to $20. But of course, I think Hasbro's raising their prices on these things, so that's unfortunate. They think these things are like, deluxes are like $30 now, which is insane. I remember when Voyagers were $30. Now these guys are almost $30, so that's kind of insane. I wanted to compare them with the core class and deluxe, another deluxe, bigger deluxe, normally sized deluxe. Here he is with my old Bumblebee. Still a pretty good figure. I haven't had 86. Probably never will. I'm fine with this one for G1 Bumblebee. Even though parts forms. But, yeah, I don't know if you can notice, but this animated Bumblebee is actually a tad bit larger than this Bumblebee. And it might be a tad bit larger or the same size as 86. I don't know how 86 scales, so I can't tell you for sure. But, yeah. He also has these rocket boosters. You could put these stingers in the undersides if you want it to look like, I don't know, like, forgot what these are called, afterburners. I don't know what they're called. These are also the wrong color. They're supposed to be black and yellow. Instead they're just, I think it's the same plastic as his windshields. Same clear plastic type. But yeah, if you wanna, you can take these off, give him his backpack from that one episode in animated. So I guess that's kind of cool. So yeah, you can do that, even though it definitely juts really far off of his back. You know, you can still do that. And also, you can, of course, equip his stingers. Just flip his hands in, like that. These side panels back in there. And then you can attach these. Now these are meant to be attached together. So, trying to get it right. It's supposed to be something like this on the other side. Just need to get this in here. So yeah, unfortunately there is no hinge to just to have him use his stingers in his individual wrists, but you know, this is still a cool feature, I guess. I'm also not even sure if he uses the stingers in his hands individually in the show, but I do know he uses it like this at some point. So yeah, I guess it's still pretty cool to have on this figure. So yeah, it's just a fun little gimmick that you don't see a lot on these figures. However, there are some things that I am honestly kind of confused about, like his feet right here. As you can see, they are modeled out to be like the front bumper of the car, but it's not actually the front bumper of the car. The front bumper of the car is back here. And honestly, you could just do this and yeah, the feet would kind of be more accurate, but then you wouldn't have knees. So actually, let me test something. If you keep these knee pads back in here, it doesn't tab in all the way, does it? It does not tab in all the way, and it still doesn't allow for backward knee bend. So let's not break the figure. So yeah, that is kind of unfortunate that it's fake. It's fake pieces for the feet when the pieces are literally right here. So yeah, I feel like they could have got the real front part of the car to work, but I guess you'll see why for transformation. But yeah, other than that, it is basically almost 100% accurate to the original design. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess for articulation, heads on a ball joint so we can look up just like that. And all the way around, although it's tight. Kind of as a hinge for transformation, so we can do that. The shoulders are kind of weird, but they can move outward that far, inward that far, forward, just like that, backward that far, and I guess bicep swivel, 90-degree elbow bend, forward, nothing backward. Of course, like I showed earlier, wrist swivel all the way around. If you disengage his chest piece, you can use the transformation joint to kind of fake an ab crunch, so that's really neat. He also has a full waist swivel, outward that far, inward that far, backward that far, forward that far. We've got a little bit above 90-degree knee bend, not a lot forward as you saw earlier, and he does have an ankle joint, ankle rocker, but does kind of have to snap in and out right here. So this is the farthest range, just like that. So yeah, it can also move upward like that due to transformation. Backwards, I don't think. And so yeah, it's a really well articulated figure. Oh yeah, also thigh swivel. So yeah. Alright, I think that's basically everything for the robot mode. So let's get to transformation. You already saw this for the ab crunch. Just disengage that. Tap it up here like so. Then you can unfold these door panels. Flip the hands in. Swivel that around, forward, just like that. Swivel around, forward. And then move these up like so. Then you can disengage that section, swivel it around, then right here just fold those heels in. Honestly, he doesn't really need those heels. You don't really need to flip them out. That's kind of a waste of budget, honestly. Flip out his shin panels, fold in the thing, knee pad. I ignore that notification. Swivel that around, fold the foot in on that ankle tilt, forward, hinge, whatever, and just snap that into place. Same thing on the other side. Then of course, once you've done that on both sides, just tap in both sides, or both legs, just like so. And then, I guess maneuver that back there really quick. And I guess kind of just, you can kind of see where all these things go. So kind of just maneuver everything into place, because this is definitely a very tight and compact figure. Bear with me as I get this. Alright. It's kind of getting there. Underside. Dang. Underside should look something like this. It is a pretty neat car, but of course, I need to fill it in. So, put this panel in here, and there are little tabs on the shoulders, or slots for the tabs on this backpack section right here. To just round out the vehicle mode, just tab it in, and everything should fall nicely into place. And there you go. There is animated Bumblebee in his car mode. And it's really nice. For the shaping and the modeling and everything, it definitely isn't perfect with the panels and stuff, but honestly, it's a really cool vehicle mode. Probably my favorite Bumblebee design too. So yeah, I'm just really glad to have this figure, and it is awesome. Although one thing I wish they would have done is given him solid windows, not this clear plastic, because it looks horrible, honestly. But yeah, other than that, he has silver painted wheels. The front is very nicely painted. Has the light bar up here, back details. Rolls really well. But yeah, all around, it's a really good vehicle mode. And in here, I don't believe there's weapon storage for these. However, as a reference to the show, you can tab these rockets into the sides of the vehicle. However, it is kind of a loose fit, as you can see. Well, never mind. It kind of just feels like a loose fit then. So yeah, never mind. It works. It works really well. So yeah, I just love this vehicle mode. However, I'm not going to give him stupid rockets. And so once again, here he is with a core class, but in vehicle mode. Dang, what the hell? Anyway, I'm not good at talking today, I guess, but in their vehicle mode, yeah, they're almost the same size, which is kind of unfortunate, as this is like 15, used to be $10. This is 30, used to be $20, I believe. So it's kind of half the price for figures that are almost the same size, which is definitely unfortunate. But these core class do have a significantly smaller budget. You have to remember, the budgets for these figures are in relation to how much you are paying for them. So once again, it's not all about size. And here he is. Instead of just transforming this Bumblebee or the core class Ratchet, I just have, I guess, mold mates. So as you can see, this Bumblebee is actually significantly smaller. So yeah, even though they're about the same size, or at least almost the same size in their robot modes, they do transform very differently. This one is definitely more compact, so that is definitely why this one is smaller. But still, they're both really good figures. And so yeah, I don't believe there is much else to say. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys next time. I definitely do recommend this figure. It's really nice. But probably get them on the aftermarket for a cheaper price than paying the full $30, because it's not worth that much, but he is definitely worth having. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.